we had discussed from 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The first 20 verses of this chapter we had discussed. And the main theme of the discussion is demoniac quality and divine qualities. So Krishna talks about these two. Because Arjun might have a doubt that he's fighting on the battlefield and for the sake of gaining the throne, the kingship. So it might be demoniac. He's thinking like that. That's why Krishna is clarifying, no, Arjun, you are not like that. You are born of divine quality. And the demoniacs are like this. And then he further describes from 5th onwards, 5th, 16.5 to 16.20, about what are the demoniac mentality. Asatyam apratishtam de jagat ahur anishwaram. This world is false, having no basis. And kim anyat kam hetukam. It is simply this world is created simply because of, for lust. And anishwaram, there is no God in control, like that. And Krishna says that how they trouble others, uh, like that he gives a description. And then last three shlokas, these 20, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, these four shlokas, he kind of summarizes his discussion. And again, the in the purport we have discussed that Srila Prabhupada says that these divine and demoniac qualities are based on whether they follow the scriptures, they abide by the scriptures or not. So the defining criteria is whether one is obedient to the scriptural codes or not. So same thing Krishna will be summarizing to at the last. What Srila Prabhupada tells before, same thing Krishna will be telling. So we'll be going ahead to this shloka. This is a very important shloka. This 16.21. So Krishna says, all of you can recite. Trividham narakeshyadam
Kedam
dwaram nasanamaatmanah
Varam Nashanamatmanaha
kama krodha tatha lobhas
Kamah Krodhastatha Lobhas
tasmadetattrayam tyajet
Tasmadetattrayam Trajet
trividham narakashyedam
Trividam Narakasyedam
dwaram nasanamaatmanah
Varam Nashanamatmanaha
kama krodha tatha lobhas
Kamah Krodhastatha Lobhas
tasmat etattrayam tyajet.
Tasmadetam Trayam Tajet.
So Krishna is telling here, Trividham, Trividham Dwaram, Narakasyedam. There are three ways to go to hell. Three different ways to go to hell. There are three paths leading to hell. So basically all the demoniac people, they are demoniac persons, they're on the path of going towards hell. They're moving towards hell. And what is driving them towards hell? So Krishna is summarizing here. Telling three things. Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha. Last time I had told all of you that Kama and Krodha, many times they appear together. Kama, Krodha, Udbhavam, Begam, or like many places comes Kama, Krodha, Kama, Manyu, Mada, Lobha. So Kama and Krodha, they are Kama, Manyu. Manyu is also Krodha. You might have heard in Srimad Bhagavad. Kama, Manyu, like that. Manyu means Krodha. So these two things come together always. That's why Krodha is called Kama Anuj. Kama Anuj. Kama Anuj. Krodha is called Kama Anuj. After Kama, immediately find his name. So elder brother and then the younger brother. Kama and Krodha. And Tatha Lobha. Lobha is greed. So then three things, they signify three base mentality of the materialistic people, which is called controllership, enjoyership, and proprietorship. Like greed. Greed, it represents proprietorship. And lust, it represents enjoyership. And krodha is controllership. These three are associated with these three base qualities. So the materialistic people, they are trying these three things only. Proprietorship, and then once you possess, then you control, and then you enjoy. like that. So all springs from lust, because there is a propensity to enjoy, like that. So these three things Krishna is telling here as, yeah, there are three gateways to hell. Three gateways to hell. And another beautiful thing Krishna is telling here, Nasanam Atmanah, destroyer of soul. Atmanah means soul. So the soul cannot be destroyed. He already tells in second chapter. Soul cannot be destroyed by anything. But then why Krishna says that the soul will get destroyed? Another place also the word Atmaha has come. Atmaha, Puman Bhavabdhimna, Taret Atmaha, a person who has got human form of life, and he has, there is in the human form of life, there are Vedic scriptures, there is spiritual master, and there is tongue which can vibrate the holy name. In spite of all this, if a person does not cross this materialistic samsar, then he is killer of the soul, like that he says, Atma. So basically, and obviously the word Atma also can refer to intelligence. Buddhinasa pranasyati. It can mean that also. Atmana means also can mean that it here buddhi. Buddhinasa pranasyati, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita second chapter. So Atmana can also mind, Atmana can be body, Atmana can be super soul also. So, but here it says that Atmana basically means that the person gets, entangled, trapped in these three things. That's why he says that, therefore one should reject these three things, lust, anger, and greed. And all of them, they spring from where? They spring from mind. The lust, anger, greed, all these things, they spring from mind. Krishna says, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatam. Like that he says. Indriyani indriyabdebhyas tasya prajna pratisthita. Says, Prajahati yada kamam sarvan partha manogatam. Hey Parth, ये जितना सब काम Prajahati yada kaman. Kaman means काम, then क्रोध and lobh, all these things. Kaman, what has come there. So Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. All these they spring from the mind. Simply because of this, the fickleness of the mind, it springs, and then one person gets trapped. Yeah, you can read the translation and the purport is very interesting.
Mandar Prabhu, can you read?
Hare Krishna. There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul.
Degradation of the soul. Yeah, you can read.
The beginning of demonic life is described herein. One tries to satisfy his lust, and when he cannot, anger and greed arise. A sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demonic life must try to give up these three enemies, which can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from this material entanglement.
See, this statement is very important, the last statement. Srila Prabhupada is telling that a sane man who does not want to glide down to the species of demoniac life must try to give up these three things, which can actual enemy is this. Our actual enemy is this lust, anger, and greed. There is no other enemy. Krishna clearly tells in Bhagavad Gita, in the battlefield, Arjuna is asking, who is the enemy? Krishna is telling, Kama esa krodha esa rajoguna samudbhava, vidhi esa iha vairina. Iha vairina means what? Eternal enemy. No, this lust to be the enemy. He is not telling, now he's on the war field. Krishna should have actually discussed some strategy to fight with to find with the Kauravas, and telling them this is a strategic location where this Jayadratha will attack, or from here Vishnu might attack, from here Duryodhana might attack, or from here Karna might attack. So all this discussion is not going. Krishna, the whole Bhagavad Gita, only in the first chapter, the strategies, who is there on the battlefield, whom you have to fight, all these things are discussed. And that too, That's Sanjay and Arjun Krishna, they are not discussing much. Only Sanjay and all these are talking. So Krishna starts talking purely about the internal enemy. And he says that this is the enemy. This lust, anger, greed, these are the actual enemy, and you have to fight with them. So these Duryodhan, Karna, Sakuni, and all these, they're not very big enemy. They can be just killed by an arrow. But this enemy is very, very powerful, and it is formidable enemy. That he always says, already said in third chapter, how lust is a formidable enemy. So Prabhupada says that can kill the self to such an extent that there will be no possibility of liberation from material. The lust and the anger, greed can be so strong that one can become a tree or a mountain for many, many lifetimes, and almost you can take it for eternity on. There will be no possibility of liberation like that. Okay. And then he says how one should protect oneself from these three things. एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय
एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय
तमोद्वारे स्त्रिभिर्नरः
तमोद्वारे स्त्रिभिर्नरः
आचरति आत्मनः श्रेयस्
आचरति आत्मनः श्रेयस्
ततो याति परां गतिम्.
ततो याति परां गतिम्.
So in acharati atmanah shreyas, there it had come dwaram nasanam atmanah, and he's telling atmanah shreyas for the ultimate welfare of the spirit soul. What one should do? Acharati, one should do perfect conduct and protect oneself from this tamodwara, these three gate to hell. Yeah. Can you read the translation?
मायापुर विहारी प्रभु.
The man who has escaped these three gates of hell, Lord son of Kunti, perform acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination.
So anybody whose action is not tainted by these three things, lust, anger, and greed, his activities will be conducive for spiritual realization. Srila Prabhupada's translation is so beautiful. So basically, person will be in mode of goodness. Just protecting oneself from lust, anger, and greed is not spiritual activity, but it is mode of goodness. Sattvam, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabdhutam. There is, Lord Shiva tells to his wife, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabdhutam Yadiyate Tatra Puman Apabhritaha Sattve cha tasmin Bhagavan Vasudeva Hi Adoksajame Namasa Vidhiyate. He says Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sabdhutam. And Sattve cha tasmin Bhagavan Vasudeva. One can understand Vasudeva, or one's activities will be conducive to spiritual realization, understanding Lord Vasudeva, if one is in Sattvagun. So to be placed oneself in Sattvagun, to place oneself in Sattvagun, this one has to protect himself from these three things, lust, anger, and greed. I just put my power cover. So the activity will be conducive to spiritual life if one's activities are not tainted with these three things, lust, anger, and greed. So Prabhupada's Prabhupada you can read this one. Yeah, from here you can. One should be
very careful of these three enemies to human life: lust, anger, and greed. The more a person is freed from lust, anger, and greed, the more his existence becomes pure. Then he can follow the rules and regulations enjoined in the Vedic literature. By following the regulative principle of human life,
Yeah.
one gradually raises himself to the platform of spiritual realization.
Yes. So same thing Srila Prabhupada is telling. The process of purification is best for giving of lust, anger, and greed. Yeah, this one also you can read.
The whole method is
Yeah.
the whole method is based on giving of lust, greed, and anger. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self-realization. This self-realization is perfected in devotional service. In that devotional service, the liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. Therefore,
Okay.
according to the Vedic system,
Fine. So these last two slokas, Krishna will be summarizing his speech, and we had discussed that the divine and the demoniac qualities, they are the criteria is one follows the scripture and another does not follow it. The whole discussion was that Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, but Krishna talks about the same thing towards the last of his 16th chapter. So these two slokas, they talk. So far, Arjun, whatever I have told you regarding divine quality and demoniac qualities, this is depending upon whether a person is inclined to follow the scriptures or not inclined to follow the scriptures. Based on that. So these two slokas, 23 and 24, talks about this. This is basically a full summary of the whole 16th chapter. Yeah, we'll recite. This is a very, the last two slokas are very, very important sloka. You all try to memorize it. Yah Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya
यः शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य
Vartate Kamakaratah
वर्तते कामकारतः
Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti
न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति
Na Sukham Na Param Gatim.
न सुखं न परां गतिम्
Yah Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya
यः शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य
Vartate Kamakaratah
वर्तते कामकारतः
Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti
न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति
Na Sukham Na Param Gatim.
न सुखं न परां गतिम्.
So he's telling here, yeah, Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya. The scriptures that are being told, that are being given the scriptures, if one does not follow the scriptures, the codes and the conducts, the regulations that are given in the scriptures, one does not follow it and acts whimsically. Kama karata means whimsically, acting whimsically. Then nasasiddhim avapnoti, he will never be successful. Na sukham, na paramgati. Na sukha means basically happiness in this material world, in this world, and paramgati means liberation or the next life. One is both are spoiled if one does not follow the scriptures. So here the word clearly Shastra Vidhim has come. Shastra Vidhim. You know, Srila Jiva Goswami, he gives a definition of faith. Because already we had seen that divine and demoniac, divine are faithful and demoniac are faithless. Right? So, faith, Shraddha, he gives a definition of Shraddha. Shastra is connected with Shraddha. That's why the next chapter is called, whole chapter, 17th chapter is based on Shraddha. You'll find it. So this is the link between the next chapter, this sloka. Because divine and demoniac, they are divided depending upon their faith in the scriptures. If one has, Prabhupada already clearly tells, we had discussed in the last class, last to last class, that if one has a faith in scriptures, he is divine. One does not have Shraddha in the scriptures, he is demoniac. And the definition of Shraddha given by Jiva Goswami is that Shastra Artha Viswasaha. Shraddha means Shastra Artha Viswasa. If one has acceptance of scriptures, that means he has faith. That is the definition of Shraddha. Shraddha means Shastra Artha Viswasa. So whenever the word faith will come, Prabhupada translates Shraddha as faith in means faith in something sublime. Trust in something sublime, like that Prabhupada's translation of Shraddha is there. Another place Prabhupada says, faith means staunch faith. Shraddha means full Shraddha. So having very strong faith in the scriptures is called Shraddha. So Krishna is telling, yes, Shastra with him, because his criteria of divine and demoniac is faith, Shraddha. The next chapter is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, or division of faith, 17th chapter. And there is a lot of discussion on faith there, Shraddha. We'll be discussing that in the next chapter. So now Krishna is summarizing this divine and demoniac based on the scriptures, and Arjuna will be asking further questions. Okay. So, and Shastra, all of you know, scriptures, that there are Shastra Praman. The topmost Praman is Shastra Praman. Like, and there are Shastras are divided into 3 categories actually. Right? Anybody knows what are the 3 categories of Shastra?
Shruti, Smriti, Purana.
Yes, exactly. Shruti, Smriti, and Purana. So what comes under the Shruti category? Yeah, Shantanu Prabhu can tell.
Prabhuji, the 4 Vedas and Upanishads.
Yeah, the 4 Vedas and the Upanishads, they are called their Shruti. Their Shruti. And what comes in Smriti?
Prabhuji, Puranas, Itihasas, Mahabharata, Ramayana.
Exactly. Smriti. And then Shruti, Smriti,
Nyaya, right?
and Nyaya. Yes. Basically, there are logics.
Logics.
They come in the category of Nyaya. Called Prasthana Traya. Prasthana means exit. You know, no? Wherever there is Prasthan, there is exit. So these are the 3 ways to exit this material world. That's why they are called Prasthana Traya. So, and any bona fide sampradaya, they need to have a commentary on these 3: Shruti, Smriti, and Nyaya. And among all these scriptures, what considered to be the topmost? The Vedas are considered to be the topmost. Shruti Praman, the Vedas, they are considered to be the topmost. And in the Vedas have different sections called Karma Kand, then Jnana Kand, and Upasana Kand. The Upasana Kand is considered to be the topmost. Upanishad, they are considered to be the topmost. And in the Upanishad, the Vedanta is considered to be the topmost. Vedanta. And Vedanta is like 555 sutras. Now you can't understand much. So there is commentary to the Vedas, explanation of the natural commentary, Akritim Bhashya, which is called Srimad Bhagavatam. That the essence of the Vedanta is actually Srimad Bhagavatam. That considered to be the topmost of all the scriptures. So the highest scriptures is Vedanta. Is Srimad Bhagavatam. The essence of the Vedanta is Srimad Bhagavatam, the natural commentary by self-same author. In another way, Jiva Goswami also proves that how the topmost scriptures is Srimad Bhagavatam. Shastra, among the Shastra is, topmost Shastra is Srimad Bhagavatam. He proves how. He says that, there are 6 systems of philosophy. You might be knowing, right? There is Karma Mimamsa by whom? I think Karma Mimamsa by Jaimini.
Jaimini.
Yes, Jaimini. And there is Yoga Sutra by Patanjali. Then there is Nyaya by Gautam. Then there is Vaisheshika by Konada. Then there is Sankhya system of philosophy by Kapila. And there is Vedanta by
Vyasdev.
So this six system of philosophy. But out of all these things, Vedanta is considered highest. Why? Because this is given by the Vasudev. And Vasudev is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? He is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of God. And all these authors, they have given their philosophy and they are correct. But the topmost is that which is given by Vasudev. Because Sarvam Vyasa Uchishtam. Everything is nothing but is the Uchishta of Vasudev, Vedanta. And that Vedanta, the essence of that Vedanta is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is Chakravarti Praman. It is the topmost of all scriptures. So Shastra means for us, Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradharana Paraham. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the topmost of all scriptures is Srimad Bhagavatam. So anybody who studies Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the topmost aspirant of self-realization. Because by this formula, Shastra Vidhim, the topmost of the scriptures is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, but anybody who disobeys the scriptures, he is considered to be Yavan, like that. Vedas also, anybody who defies Vedas, he is considered, we don't accept them. Like Lord Buddha himself comes. Lord Buddha is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he rejected Vedas. That's why we don't worship him. We respect him as incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he's not worshipped, you see. And his verdict, his theories are not accepted. You see, Lord Buddha, Vedana Maniya Buddha Haila Nasti Vedasraye Nastikata Bodhete Adhik. Like that, there is sloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. That Vedasraya Vedana Maniya Buddha Haila Nastik. Because he rejected the Vedas, he was not accepted. Because he did not accept the Vedas. So Vedas are apaurusaya. Vedas. So anybody who rejects the scriptures, he is demoniac, and immediately he is rejected and considered to be outcast. Because he is not following the scriptures, which are considered to be like mother and only way to leading back to Godhead. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, somebody can read this translation.
Mayuresh Prabhu.
He who discards scripture injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness, nor the supreme destination.
Similar type of statement Krishna also says in 4th chapter, if you remember, 4.35 or 35. Nasti sukho ayagyasya, like that he says. Anybody who does not perform the yajna. You remember? Hare Krishna. Anybody remembers? Krishna says there like that. I think it is 4. Let me check.
Four point 31.
4.31.
31.
Yeah, correct. This is the slogan. You can see here. Nayam, you're able to see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So Nayam loko asti ayagyasya kutanya purusattama. Here it says that, you see, one who does not perform sacrifice can never live happily on this planet and in the next life. Sorry, in this, he will not be able to live happily in this life, what to speak of his next life. So, ayagyasya. Anybody who does not perform yajna. So, yajna and scriptures both are connected. Because if you study the scriptures, that is also considered to be performing yajna. Studying the scriptures is also, and yajna vidhi is there in the scriptures only. how to perform the sacrifice. Krishna says, na, he says that what is the shloka? Yajna karmodbhavam, yajna karmodbhavam vidhi. There is a shloka that he says that yajnas are coming from the scriptures. How do you understand how to perform yajnas? In third chapter, I believe it comes. So studying this scripture is also kind of yajna only. Right now, you are hearing the lecture. We are also performing yajna. What we are doing? Reciting the shlokas of Gita. Gita Jnana Yajna people do. So we are studying the scriptures, discussing. So this is also yajna. Okay, fine. We can read.
Purport. As
No,
described,
just 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, we read from here. If one does not follow the rules, yeah.
if one does not follow them and act whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he never will be perfect in his life. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he is to be known as the lowest of mankind. In
Yeah,
the
anybody who does not follow the scriptures is considered to be the lowest. Even Varnashram is within the Vedas. So they are Varnashram. Even the Shudra, Prabhupada says, Shudra, they are not supposed to study the Vedas, but they are within the Vedic fold. That's why the Shudra is in a progressive march towards self-realization. Even the Sudras, because they are coming under the Vedic fold. They are just serving the Kshatriya Brahmanas. So they are within it. But outcast is considered which is less than the Sudras. Because they are not in the Vedic fold. So you find they will in this one, the word Kamakarata, you read.
The word kama kartah is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, but still he acts. This is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should be done, but still he does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical.
So Prabhupada is
Such
giving a definition of whimsical. Knowing what to do and not doing, and knowing what not to do and still doing is called whimsical behavior. Prabhupada is telling. One knows this, that I should not do it. But still a person engages, it's called, and it says, okay, no problem. No, let's go ahead and do it. So that is called acting out of lust. And such a person can never have happiness. Okay. And then he's saying the human form of life is especially for purifying the existence. Right, and okay. Then the final shloka is coming. Krishna is telling, therefore one should act as per the Shastra Pramana. The word Shastra Pramana has come. So tasmat Shastram Pramanam te
अस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते
Karya Vyavastito
कार्याकार्यविवस्थितौ
Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam
ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं
Karma Kartum Iharhasi.
कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि.
Tasma, therefore, Arjun, one should act by the Shastra Praman. There are 10 Pramanas, all of you know. And the ultimate is Shabda Praman. Like that, there is Aitiha, then Arsha Praman, and then Anuman Praman, and then there is Pratyaksha Praman, obviously. And then all 10 are then finally they are divided into 3 categories: Anuman, Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda Praman. The highest is considered to be the Shabda Praman. The topmost way of gaining knowledge is Shabda Praman. And in that Shabda, the Shabda is the Vedas. The Vedas are considered to be the topmost, like that. So Tasmat Shastra Pramanam te karya. Therefore, one should act as per the Shastra Praman. Take that. Whether this is action is being is sanctioned in the scriptures or not sanctioned, like that. And Gyantva Shastra Vidhanoktam, what is one should know. One cannot say, no, I did not know, that's why. No. Human form of life means you supposed to know what is the one cannot say, no, I did not know, that's why I should be forgiven. No. There is no, like say, for example, somebody says, no, somehow I did not go to school, but you should give me job. No, one has to study and get a degree and then only one will get a job. Similarly, as a human form of life, everybody has to know the scriptures. That's why studying the scriptures is a mandate need. It's not an option that, okay, I don't have time. Nobody should say that I don't have time. No, it is as much as chanting 16 round, that much important is the studying the scriptures. And in for us, scriptures means Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhagavad Gita, definitely. Yeah. So these three things. One must read this section. There is no question of not reading, not having time. One is not sufficiently studying scriptures. That means there is no divinity in one's life. Because divinity will come in one's life by studying the scriptures. You see that if you regularly and very with a nishtha, if you study the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, then you see life will be so streamlined. The practicing Krishna consciousness will be so easy. One has to just gather time and sufficient sattvagun to study the scriptures. Please read this translation.
Mohan Sakha Prabhu.
One should therefore understand what is the duty and what is not a duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be eliminated.
One must know. It's not that it's an option. Yeah, Prabhupada is kind of summarizing here the whole. Just read this. 15th chapter. Yes.
As stated in the 15th chapter, all the rules and regulations of the Vedas are meant for knowing Krishna. If one understands Krishna from the Bhagavad Gita and becomes situated in Krishna consciousness, engaging himself in devotional service, he has reached the highest perfection of knowledge offered by the Vedic literature. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this process very easy. He asked people simply to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
And to engage in the devotional service of the Lord and eat the remnants of the foods offered to the deities. One who directly engages.
1 minute.
Can you help me?
Prabhupada is telling the scriptures are without having any 4 defects that are there. And as Prabhupada is telling, in India there are 2 types of spiritual aspirants. One is called personalist and another the impersonalist. Both of them, they try to lead their life as per the Vedas. Yeah, but the impersonalist, their path is difficult. That's why Krishna says in 12th chapter that the path of the impersonalist is troublesome. Like that. Okay. Prabhupada talks about the greatest offense. Please read this one, Human Society.
In the human society, aversion to the principle of understanding the Supreme Personality of God is cause of all falsehood. That is the greatest offense of human life. Therefore, Maya, the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always giving us trouble in the shape of threefold miseries.
Okay. Fine. So this chapter we have completed. And finally merging with scriptures. About the whole chapter is about whether following the scriptures or not following. So as I told all of you that following the Shastra, one needs Shraddha, faith. Whenever it comes to scriptures, one needs to have Shraddha. So if one does not have the faith that there is a spiritual world, and that is the 3/4 of this creation, this material world is 1/4 of, and then there is Mahavishnu, from whom this material world is coming. And then there is there is the spiritual world, there are spiritual planets, there are spiritual living entities, which is beyond time, which is beyond the modes, which is not annihilated when this world is annihilated. All these things are found in the scriptures. By no way and mean we can understand that there is a spiritual world in this material world. We can never understand unless and until we have access to the Shastras. So to accept the Shastras, to assimilate them, to understand them, and to practice them, one needs Shraddha, a staunch faith. That's why Shastra Artha Viswasa. Shraddha means Shastra Artha Viswasa. Now, if the topic of Shraddha becomes very much in focus, that's why the next chapter is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. And Arjuna here will be immediately asking a question that if one acts out of one has some sort of Shraddha, but not the Shraddha in scriptures, then what happens to them? In which definitely they're in the modes, because Shraddha in scriptures is born out of Sattva. And but here, if one has Shraddha, but he's acting out of some faith, but he does not have so much faith in the scriptures, then what happens to him? That's the next question Arjuna is asking, and that leads to the discussion from 17th chapter. So we'll be going ahead to the 17th chapter, which is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. This chapter more or less is little similar to 16, but 18th chapter onwards, the discussion will be highly technical. The 80 slokas that are there in the 78 slokas in the 18th chapter. Okay, so we'll recite this. Similar, very what Krishna said, na yah sastra vidhim usijya vartate kamakarata nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham param gati. Now Arjuna is asking immediately. Arjuna uvacha.
Arjuna uvacha.
Ye sastra vidhim usijya.
Ye shastra vidhimutsrijya.
Yajante shraddhayanvita.
Yajante shraddhayanvitaah.
Tesam nishtha tu kaha Krishna.
Tesham nishtha tu ka Krishna.
Sattvam rajastamah.
Sattvam aho rajastamah.
So Arjuna is asking, Krishna told that yes, Shastra Vidhim Utsrijya Vartate Kamakarata. He acts whimsically. Whimsically he is acting, then understood what is his destination. But Arjuna is asking, if somebody defies the Shastras, he doesn't have so much faith in scriptures, or his ignorance of the principle of the scriptures, but he acts out of Shraddha. That's the case of many people in this world. You will find many people. In fact, most people fall in this category also. Like they will be rotating Agravati, they don't know how to rotate. And they will be they'll go down to some temple, some god, or some stone, or some form of flag. They'll respect as divinity, they'll offer obeisances, but they don't know what is the scriptural code. Many people you will find. My mother also, in home, so many demigods she has kept. She's worshipping since childhood, but she has never read the scriptures. She's just worshipping. I told, do you know any vidhi of puja? Do you know any mantra? You're just ringing the bell and then you're doing like this. I feel most of your homes also parents might be doing like that. And they have some sort of, but they don't know why they are doing like that. They never think that there's a need of reading the scriptures and understanding in whatever activity I am doing. Is it there in the scriptures? Am I following the Shastra, or I'm just doing like that? They never feel like this. I've seen my mother. She never questions her activity that I'm worshipping so many demigods. Whom should then she has kept Lakshmi photo, Ganesh, and so many Chandi, Devi, and all this. In our house, the altar is filled like this, the whole. So many. Then he will keep flower very, very religiously. With so much of mornings, she will get up and without doing her puja, she will not eat anything. That's every day. And sometimes I'll go home, I have to leave. I'll have train or something like that. Then she will cook and feed me. And then 10:30, 11 o'clock, she will take again a bath, and then she will puja, and then 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, she will eat. So I think so much faith she has. And but she has never read the scriptures. At least I have never seen. Now, because I have given her a Bhagavad Gita, she is reading, but I doubt whether she is understanding or not much. But point is, what I am trying to make all of you is that many people in India, they fall in this category. They have They have never read the scriptures. They don't know what scriptures should be read. And they have some sort of faith in what practice they are doing, in whatever. Like worst, much worse is people commit doing, like in Calcutta or somewhere, you go to South, they do sacrifice of animal slaughter on the name of worshipping the Lord. I had gone to Ahobilam. So there is a place corner, they were killing so many, this chicken, hen. And they were thinking that we are priests, we are doing religious activity. Like that they were saying. So you see, these are most people's category. So they come under the modes basically, definitely, no doubt. So then Arjuna is asking which all modes they are in. I think Krishna will be describing. So you can read the translation.
Mridul Krishna Prabhu.
Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principle of scriptures, but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance?
Yeah, so basically they are definitely in modes, and what their situation probably is translated. These people who don't follow the scriptures, but they yajante shraddhayanvita. They worship some form of higher personality whom they feel, and they worship. They feel that these people are higher and we are supposed to worship them to get some power or some gain, like that. And so they have, but they worship. So what category they are in, what's their destination, and what mood they are in. That's what Arjuna is asking. Yeah. Okay.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, read.
In the fourth chapter, 39th verse, it is said that a person faithful to particular type of worship gradually becomes elevated to the stage of knowledge and attains the highest perfectional stage of peace and prosperity. In the 16th chapter, it is concluded that one who does not follow the principle laid down in the scripture is called an asura, demon, and one who follows
And
the
what is his
scripture
destination? He glides down to lower species of life, right? Like that is being spoken there. Yeah. Yeah. Read.
and one who follows scriptural injection faithfully is called deva, demigod. Now, if one with faith follows some rule which are not mentioned in the scriptural injection, what is his position?
Yes. So this is Arjuna's question. It is clear to all of Arjuna is asking somebody who worships but does not have faith. He does not know about the scriptural codes. It's not that he rejects, and definitely one can reject also because he is not taking interest in studying the scriptures. Definitely he has rejected, no doubt. So they don't know the scriptures and they are worshipping some sort of higher being. So what is their position? Like that. Yeah. Did you hear?
Do those who do not follow the rules and regulation of scriptures, but who have faith in something and worship gods and demigods, and men attain success in their efforts? Arjuna is putting this question to Krishna.
Now here you see, this is a very interesting thing actually. This person, he does not follow the scriptural rule that is there to follow to enjoin for worshipping, but he just worshipping the personality. And so what is their faith and what is the destination? What happens to them? That's what, do they achieve success? That's what is the question of Arjuna. Now you will find somebody worships demigod. Now the demigods are mentioned in the Vedas, no doubt. Like somebody is there worshipping Kartik, or someone knows about Ganesha, or somebody knows Surya Dev for that matter. Surya Dev, people worship Surya Dev or do Pancha Upasana. The Mayavadis, they do Pancha Upasana, worshipping with Lord Vishnu, and then this Shiva, Durga, Ganesh, and sun god. So they worship. Now, many a times these people, they worship this kind of personalities without knowing what their process of worshiping that are there in the scriptures. They just don't know. They're just worshiping. So that's what is being discussed here. That's what Arjuna is asking here. Okay. And Krishna is categorizing them into three. Here the discussion will be little. This shloka is very important. You all can try to analyze this shloka. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Trividha Bhavati Shraddha
त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
देहिनां सा स्वभावजा
Tattviki Rajasi Chaiva
सात्विकी राजसी चैव
Tasmat Cheti Tam Shrunu. I said
ताम
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu.
तामसी चेति तां शृणु.
Krishna is telling you three vidha bhavati shraddhas. Faith is three type. Three type. And dehina sa swabhavaja. Here you see this word very carefully. Swabhavaja. Shraddha springs from one's swabhav. This word swabhava has come many times in Bhagavad Gita also. Bhava, from bhava comes the word bhava. And from bhava comes swabhava. Now, if you know this word is bhava, anybody knows the meaning of the word bhava?
Material world.
Okay, material world. Bhava means material world. What else?
Lord Shiva.
Yeah, bhava means Lord Shiva. Correct. What else?
Creation. Birth.
Sorry?
Creation or birth.
Yeah, creation, material creation. That is also called bhava. Birth. Or so be it. Ayushman bhava. The word comes. And from bhava, the word bhava comes. Bhava. So if you type the word bhava, you'll find in the Vedic dictionary, lot of meaning will come. Lot of meaning. Bhava and bhava is, a lot of meaning will come. Now, 1 minute. Like bhava. Now, coming to the word bhava, which all places Krishna uses the word bhava?
Buddha Bhava.
Buddha bhava samanvitaha. So there bhava means what? Which shloka it is?
Devotion.
Sorry?
How is that? How is devotion? Buddha Bhava.
Buddha bhava samanvita, yeah, correct. I think 10.8, right? Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma Buddha bhava samanvitaha. So there the word bhava means, somebody can see what Srila Prabhupada translates the word bhava. What Prabhupada translates bhava means?
With great attention.
With great attention. Bhava means with great attention. It's bhava also means emotions, right? Feeling, bhava. Bhava also means bhakti. There is sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and
Prema Bhakti.
prema bhakti. Yes. So bhava is a type of bhakti also. Krishna's one name is called Bhavagrahi Janardhan. Bhava means, he sees the bhava, the element of bhakti. The bhava also can mean bhakti. And bhava also nature. Both spiritual nature and material nature also can be told as bhava. Like bhave bhava, like that's this Kula Shakar says, no? Kula Shakar.
Hriday Bhavan or something.
What is the sloka? You remember, Kartik?
No,
Bhave bhavantam, something like that. There the word bhava is material word. Kula Shakar prayer, I think it is the fourth sloka of Kula Shakar, Mukunda Mala Stotra. Fourth or sixth sloka. That is the bhava. There bhava means material world. And bhava also can mean spiritual world. Like Krishna says, Param bhavam ajananto mama bhutane. He says, there is sloka in, I think, यम यम वापि स्मरं भावं त्यजन्ति अन्ते कलेवरं तं तं एवं सदातम
અને અબજાનતી માં મૂળા માનુષ્યમ તનમ આશ્રિત પરમ
अवजानाति मां मूढ़ा मानुषिं तनुमाश्रितं परम भावम् अजानतः mama
મમ
bhuta
ભૂતો
maheshwar. That is the
મનુષ્ય
param bhava means spiritual world. Bhava there, the param bhava means spiritual world. And another place the word bhava comes in Krishna says, if somebody remembers me and then he attains my nature, the word bhava comes. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati sa madbhavam yati nasti atra sam. That the word bhava means spiritual world. One gets spiritual world. And Bhava Prabhupada translates in fourth chapter, Bhava, love for Krishna is called Bhava, Prema basically. Bhava also means Prem. In fourth chapter, in the 4.10, I think. Somebody can see, know what is 4.10. Bhava.
वीतराग भय
Huh?
Last verse, last line is Putamad Bhavamad.
Puta Madhava Magata. Yeah. So purified. Yeah. So these are some of the meaning of Bhava we discussed. Now, the word Swabhava means basically, Swabhava definitely can mean one spiritual nature also, no doubt about it. But here, the word Swabhava means the kind of nature we have achieved due to our association with the material nature. That's the meaning of Swabhava here. The kind of faith or the kind of nature we have received because of our association with the material nature is called Swabhava. When Arjuna is asking in the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you see, what is Adhyatma? Kim Adhyatmam? Kim Adhyagyam Prabhu? Like that, there is a question by Arjun. Then Krishna starts answering to him by saying that, see here. Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhava Adhyatmam Uchyate. Swabhava is called Adhyatma. Swabhava here, the word Swabhava has come. Swabhava is called Adhyatma. Adhyatma means one's nature, which one has basically one's state of the subtle body is called Swabhava. You see here, that's called Adhyatma. Here, you see here, you read this translation, you will understand. Yeah.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman, and his eternal nature is called Adhyatma, the self.
Here the Swabhava means eternal nature, that is the spiritual nature. But Adhyatma, Adhidabhya, Adhidaiva, Adhiyagya, these all three. This Adhyatma, Adhiyagya, Adhidaiva, right? These three, if you see here the Swabhava actually means to one's state of the subtle body. Because you see, Aksharam Brahma Paramam, Swabhava Adhyatma Uchyate, Bhuta Bhava Udbhava Kara Visarga Karma Sangyata. Bhuta Bhava, that which gives rise to Bhuta Bhava. Bhuta Bhava means what? Swabhava and Bhuta Bhava. So here the Swabhava is basically spiritual nature. But Bhuta Bhava means the nature which one has got from the material nature. So Adhyatma, Adhidaiva, Adhidaiva refers to the demigods. Adhi again is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Adhyatma is can be one's spiritual nature, can be one's material nature also. Because Adhi Atma, here if you Atma will refer to spiritual intelligence, then the Adhyatma will be spiritual nature. But if Atma refers to the mind, then Adhyatma will means material, one's material inclination, like that. So Krishna talking here about Swabhava. So he's saying Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehi Namsa Swabhavaja. So definitely here Swabhava is not spiritual inclination. Definitely. Because Dehi Nam, it is Satviki, Rajasi, Chaiva, all these Swabhava. So depending upon that Swabhava, one gets faith, Shraddha. Like that. And Krishna will be describing there are three in category, and he will be further taking. In next class, we'll discuss this. So I'd like to give some time for question answer. You know, somebody had written a question on chat, I believe, right? Okay. Yeah, lust, anger, greed, how it leads to hell. Somebody has asked, yeah, there is definitely lust. Ajamila, you also saw how Ajamila acted out of lust. He was attracted to the prostitute, and he was getting a temptation to enjoy with her. And another side, his spiritual side was telling her, Ajamil, don't do it. It is very, very sinful. And you don't reject your duly married wife. Although the prostitutes, the association with the prostitute might appear very lucrative, very tempting, but it is leading to hell. But Ajamil, he chose to associate with the prostitute when he gave up his, duly married wife, and then eventually he the situation how things became done. Similarly, somebody acts out of greed. Somebody has money, but then he feels, let me put the money in black market, or then I'll get more money. Then eventually once gets destroyed. So last anger, greed, all three people, like Kichak. See, he got attracted to Draupadi, and he had to die from the hands of Bhima. Similarly, you find this Duryodhan, he died out of greed, sheer greed for throne, like that. So, okay, any other question? Pritish or Priya Arjun Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu, you can ask.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, in the 16th chapter, Krishna says in that verse, Asurishu eva yunishu. So in their Asuri means demoniac species means any species in which the consciousness is dull, like plants, animals,
Yeah,
or
that they're also.
stick people, or what does that exactly mean?
Yeah, the Asuri unit is basically lower species of animalistic life. All these they are considered to be lower species, Asuri species. Not necessarily only Bhuta, Preta, Pisach. Not only this. Not only all these lower species, they are also considered to be Asuri only
And
animals.
lower species means in the lower planetary systems also there are living beings. So
Yeah, for lower planetary system, there is Bila Sarga. Lower does not mean always hell, because there is Bhauma Sarga, there is Sarga, and there is Bila Sarga. The heaven that are there in the below. So like Sutal planet, they're one type of heavenly planet. That's the spiritual world in one sense, Lord's presence. But that is also considered to be Sarga, called Bila Sarga. Similarly, there is uh, so they are not necessarily lower species. Lower planet does not only mean they are hell. Lower means the 28 type of hell. In fact, the lowest, Patal, and below all of them are hellish. And another meaning of lower also means that place where the sun's Prakash does not reach. So all these planets, there is no sunlight does not go actually. So they're illuminated by the snakes. They are living by the money, their lights, or by the jewels which they have kept. So and they're heavenly planet, and there is description coming in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that there are particular type of asav drinks. As soon as a person goes there, if he drinks that, he can enjoy heavenly delights in the lower planetary systems. And what we mean lower species, lower planetary system is basically the 28 type of hell, and Patal. Patal is definitely one hell only. Like that.
And Prabhuji, one more question, like when the transmigration happens, so does the soul immediately get the body, or first he has to go through the punishments in the hellish planets and then he gets the body? That Yatana Sharir we hear na in Bhagavatam gets.
Yeah, Yatna Sarir, one can go directly to the animalistic life also. And one can go direct to hell and suffer and do like that also. Depends upon it's karma and the nature, gahana karmanogati. It's not that one can get directly, like you see somebody gets cursed, immediately becomes an elephant, or many instant you might have heard about how Gajendra becomes, that king becomes Gajendra, or a crocodile, a person becomes crocodile, or a Nirga, this King Nirga becomes a, what do you call, King Nirga becomes a lizard, right? So there are many instances you see that human being directly becomes an animal. That is possible. But the sinful quotas are there, the suffering quota which needs to be there, then that person is taken to the hell and he suffers there in the hell, and then he again, wherever he's supposed to start, whichever is the prominent desire from where he should start, that kind of animal life will be given. So both are possible. Many incidents we see that in the Sattoguni life, people are cursed and they immediately become a snake or a reptile. So not that one has to go to hell and then it's not like that. Yeah, although Krishna says, Madhe Tishtati Rajasa, Adho Gachanti, so what is that?
Jaganya Gunamutista
Madhya Tishtati Rajasa, Jaganya Gunamutisa, Adho Gachanti Tamasa. So one can become animalistic also. Next life one becomes. You see in the picture also in that somebody has acted like that, he becomes, somebody sleeps a lot. That is also possible. One again enters into the cycle of birth and death. So, but the sinful quota is there, which needs to suffer by going to hell, Samyamanipur. Then one is taken there by the Yamudutas and then suffers like that. Not that Yamudutas have to only come for everybody. One can transmigrate also.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other question? Right? Deepak Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna. Guruji, like Ravana worship Lord Shiva and like Hiranyakashipu worship Brahmaji. So they come in which category? Guruji?
This discussion will come next class. This discussion, Krishna will tell who's the demigod worship and all this category. Next class, tomorrow we'll discuss. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. We'll stop here. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.